Hello, Internet. Welcome to my comic book talks for this week. It's a bit late, whatever. Time is not my strong suit right now. So the books I'm going to talk about this week, I guess I'll start with my complete pull list and then start talking about it from there. So I got Saga, of course, because, amazing. So number 19 of Saga, Forever Evil number 7, and Justice League number 30. That was great. I highly enjoyed that. I might actually be picking up Justice League. I don't know though. Well, I'll get there when I talk about it. Um, Uncanny X-Men number 21, where someone finds out who the person is behind the Sentinels, but the reader doesn't. It's like, oh, curse you, Bendis, and the X-Men number 14, where the future continues to hunt for Shogo. Even though it didn't really happen this issue, it's like some other stuff happened, but it was cool. It was cool. Anyways. The three books I'm going to talk about this week, so that's, the format, the top three books. So, I guess not the top three books, but like the three that, after reading them all, because I didn't have, I've read them all and I've come back and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about these three. I'm talking about Justice League first, then, because I want to talk about Forever Evil. I really enjoyed that event. Then Uncanny X-Men, and then X-Men. So, yeah. So before I talk about Justice League, let me talk about Forever Evil for a bit. I really enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the whole concept of Justice League is taken off the table and then they're sidelined and then it's like who's gonna save the day? Oh, the villains will. It's great. It's great. I loved the whole Bizarro and Lex Luthor thing. That was great. The bromance throughout the whole thing and the sidekickness. I don't know what the word you would use, but that. And then it was great at the end of Forever Evil, how Lex Luthor is just, man, he was just the man. It was great. And then, when he's talking about how they're all going to get pardoned for their crimes or whatever because they saved the day. And then, like, Bizarro and Black Adam, I mean, not Bizarro, but, Black Adam and, Sinestro are just like, ha ha ha, and, like, they just, like, fly away. And then Captain Cold's like, man, I wish we could fly Manta. And, like, he looks to his side and, like, he's not there. And then he just, like, everybody leaves except for Captain Cold and they're there. And, yeah, that was great. It was, so fantastic. And all the fight scenes and, like, just, like, it's great. It's great. But, yeah, moving along to, I'm done gushing over for Evil. Also, they didn't kill Nightwing. So, yay, Nightwing's not dead. Yay, he's going to undercover, so that might be cool, but yeah. Back to Justice League number 30, and what happens. So essentially, what happens at the end of Evil is basically, the villains save the day, and then, like, Lex Luthor's, like, the main dude of, like, the plan of, like, how they did it, with, like, I think it was, like, just Batman and Catwoman helping out, and, like, yeah, it was cool. And then, like, this issue is basically the public being like, oh, that Lex Luthor, he's such a great guy. It's just hilarious. And then, okay, moving on. But we start, and you have Justice League, how it is, breaking into the Secret Society's HQ, and they're just like, alright, dudes, the party's over. We're going to take it to you and surrender. And then it flashes back 4 days before that. But before I talk about the flashback, so you have the Justice League. However, their lineup in this picture that you see is, Shazam, Cyborg, Aquaman, Batman, Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, and Captain Cold. So there's no Flash. There's no Superman. Some other people I'm probably forgetting, not there. So the roster has changed. So it's like, okay, that's an interesting concept. Is like, I guess when like Luthor joins the team and like Superman's just like, whatever, dude, I can't be on the same team as this guy. I don't know, but to me, I mean, I'm not gonna get into it, but I've been reading Superman Unchained, and before that, I just like could not enjoy Superman at all. And then after reading it, I was like, okay, I can see like how this dude works on the levels that he works on and like whatever, and like what's up with this character. But now that he's not on the team, it's like I don't have to have that, disgusting Superman aftertaste in my mouth if I read this. So I might be jumping on another point to the Justice League cap or whatever. Anyway, so it's like flashing back to after Lex Luthor helped save the day, and then It's all over the headlines of the Daily Planet. And then you have Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent having this conversation over a phone of like, Batman, I can't take it, dude. I can like hear, my hearing is like super hearing, and I try to filter out stuff, and Lex Luthor's all over the place. It just, it's killing me inside. It's like making me sick. I just can't take it. So that's going on. But then you have like, I haven't been reading this book, and this is like issue 30, and like that's going on, and then there's like a panel that goes to like these. It looks like they're villains. It's like they're plotting, and like they're like. The contrast of the screen changes to like black and stuff, and like there's this dude there named Captain Trainer, and like someone's asking him, "What are our orders, sir?" And then he's like, "Just shut up until I tell you to do something." But it's like him, some lady, or two ladies, him and like a dude with some stuff on his face, and some other dude. So I don't know who they are, but they look like they're villains. So I guess we'll find out later. And then you have Wonder Woman, who is interrogating Metallo, and then like what's going down essentially is like you have the Justice League before Lex is on the team in the first panel. You have like other members hunting down leads to find where Lex Luthor is. So that's basically what Superman and Batman were talking about. I was like, man, where is he? I haven't seen him or heard from him in like 4 days or whatever. And then Wonder Woman's like beating the crap out of Metallo, being like, where is he? Oh, Flash is there too, making great jokes. Haha, that Flash guy. And then if it cuts, the next scene cuts to Central City, and you have Captain Cold and his parole officer, and I guess they come to agreement that like, maybe you should try being, not such a bad guy and getting on the Justice League. I read this like a couple days ago, so I haven't gone back to read it, so I don't remember what they're talking about, but it's probably that. I'm guessing that's how you ended up on the team, whatever. And then you go back to, and then we're, let's see, next scene cuts to the Batcave. I think it's the Batcave. I could be wrong. It could be somewhere else, whatever. So yeah, some other HQ that the Justice League has. And then I'm guessing, whatever. Anyway, you have like Batman in a chair in front of a computer screen, and like everybody else is behind him, whatever. And so, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Batman are there on a computer screen. They're like looking at leads, like, man, where's this guy? Like, or I'm sorry, where's Lex Luthor? Where's he at? And then out of the water somewhere, or not out of somewhere, but like somewhere behind them, out of the water, in the cave that they're in, pops up Aquaman and Cyborg, and they're like, yeah, we couldn't find him. He leads to underwater either, and we talked to this dude. Who was it? Wow. I should stop reading ahead. Parasite? I guess Parasite's his name. Anyway, so yeah, Parasite. No leads from him. Okay, and then apparently there's or when they're on the computer, they find some sort of satellite orbiting the Earth, and they go up there, and they're like, okay, what's up with this? And they go up there, and then like Lex Luthor's there, he's like, hey guys, and he's got like a champagne bottle in one hand, and glasses on the table and stuff. And Superman's like, what are you doing up here, Luthor? And then he's like, I'm a changed man, Superman, and I'm celebrating. And then this is like my favorite part in this issue. It's just like, Luthor's there, the Justice League's there, Shazam's there, and he's like, are you sure they're okay with this? Whatever. And then Luthor's like, whatever, dude. I told you they'd be cool. They're gonna be cool. And and then basically, nobody on the Justice League believes him when he's like, dude, I'm totally being a good guy now. And I'm a hero. I save the day. I like this hero thing. I like being a good guy. And then it's hilarious because he proceeds to I'm sorry. He proceeds to basically let Wonder Woman put her lasso of truth around him and like be interrogated. It was great because it's funny. He starts off and he's like, okay, let's talk after Wonder Woman. Let's talk after Wonder Woman puts her lasso around my neck. And then the Flash is like, how about his wrist? Like, that was great. Anyway, she puts her lasso of truth around his wrist, and then they start interrogating him. And it is just like the best dialogue, like so good, because he's telling the truth, and then Superman's like, why would you even want to be on the Justice League anyway? And he's like, because I'm an egomaniac. And it was great. It's like, oh, so good. And then, yeah, he just keeps talking and, like, telling the truth, and it's just nothing evil is coming out of his mouth, and you can't believe it. Justice League can't believe it, and they're just like, and Superman just gets, like, angry, and he's like, whatever. I had enough of this. We can't trust you, and, yeah, this is our job, not yours, and, yeah, I'm Superman. And so, and Luther's like, okay, whatever, dudes, I'll leave. I just built you this whole space station satellite thing, so I hope you're happy. Whatever. I'm a hero now, so you're not going to stop me from being a hero. And then, like, he leaves. It was great. And, oh, yeah, okay, so, also, okay, sorry. You just, or what happens next is essentially you have the Justice League talking about what is going on here, and, like, Batman's like, well, or, like, should we really, like, allow him to join the team or whatever? And, like, the status of things pretty much, and they're talking about, in Forever Evil, how the Injustice, no, Secret Society, it wasn't the Injustice League, the, whatever, the Ultraman and his team of villains, how they came from, like, alternate dimension, and they're like, well, what's the thing that destroyed their planet, which you find out in, like, the last panel of Forever Evil if you read it, and they're like, but then some people were like, well, we all know that it's Darkseid, right? It's Darkseid, but it's not Darkseid, so And then yeah, Batman's like, well, we need to be able to, like, protect from threats other than stuff like that. I think Lex Luthor was talking about that too, but or no, it wasn't, because that's when they bring it up. And then it flashes back to how are they going to find out, like, what it was that they were trying to run from when they came here, the alternates from Forever Evil, from the other Earth, and then like all these flashback scenes from, like, stuff that happened, and how the ring from Power Ring, 'cause that's his name, not Green Lantern, but Power Ring, how it, like, was some sort of thing, and it, like, went to somebody else. And we finally, after however many issues, we finally see that it went to some other person on the planet, on Earth anyway, and then it's, like, floating in front of them, and they're totally creeped out by it. And then the last panel is, like, something else Lex Luthor found out in at the end. At the end of Forever Evil was the identity of Batman, so he knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne now, and so he's going to Wayne Manor, and there's a ring at the door, and then Alfred answers, and he's like, I'm here to talk to you, Batman. Oh, dun dun dun. Cliffhanger, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Oh, but I can't wait to see. So I think I will definitely pick that up, because that would be a fun time, I think, anyway. Of, Lex Luthor and Batman, or Bruce Wayne just, sitting there talking it out and stuff. Because, they're both humans, and they have different, I'm guessing, perspectives on, Actually, now I'm wondering, like, is that how the current roster came to be? It's like, Batman and Lex Luthor came eye to eye, and they're like, you know what, the Superman guy, too alien, too dangerous, yada yada yada, or something, I don't know. But, yeah, that was great. I highly enjoyed Justice League number 30. And I'm just gonna keep going. So I'm doing this a bit differently. Usually I will, like, read the issue and then do my little, whatever, this happened, blah, 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 overview. Not so much this week. So that was a little bit of Justice League, a little bit of Forever Evil. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Justice League just because it's like, I'm here talking about this stuff every week. And, well, when I'm on time every week. And for the most part, it's a Marvel train with a bit of Saga sprinkled in, a bit of some other stuff, like Mass Effect Foundation sprinkled in, Dark Horse. But, I'd like to, try to broaden my horizons, read some more DC, so, And I did kind of, I've been kind of off the ball on Batman. Until we get out of Zero Year, I'm kind of on Batman. Well, no, I'm not on Batman. I'm just waiting for it to get back into the not Zero Year, because origin story, yeah. But, yeah, more DC. Anyway, moving on, Uncanny X-men. I was so waiting for this issue, because it's like in the like preview text for it was like, oh, you finally get to find out who's behind the Sentinels, and you don't, but Beast does. Oh, also, before I begin reading, because I'm not sure if they've, like, given any clues or hints or answers in this. I'm like 2 or 3 issues behind on All New X-Men, so I haven't read any since number 25, which had some really great short sequences, like with the old Cyclops and old Wolverine and Kitty Pryde and the Colossus thing. That's great. But yeah, before I get more off topic, Uncanny X-Men number 21. Let's get to it. So we start off, and last issue was essentially at the end you had Cyclops. Something goes haywire with his powers, and he attacks, or he has like this optic blast, and he tries to like, not beam Beast and Storm and Rachel, whoever, and like Iceman or whoever else is sitting there. And so we pick up there, and then that happens. And then Magic's there, and she's like, Scott, and he's like, it's not me, man, it's not me. And then Storm gets really angry, and she's like, dude, get the F out. And then, but then I can't say her name. Magic has the same thing happen, and she's like, get away from me, I can't control my powers. And then she has, like, one of her limbo demons shoot out, and the Storm's just like, bzz. It was great. It was like, she's like, it's cool how they drew it, because, like, she puts her hand out, and then she closes her fist, and, like, lightning strikes down, and it's like, oh, that was awesome. It's like, crack-a-goom, boom, right in the demon, and then takes her out. And so you have Ilanya. I'm sorry, I keep wanting to say Ilana, but I keep saying it wrong. I'm sorry. I keep wanting to say her name, but I keep saying it wrong. I'm going to try to stop doing that. Because it keeps, like, that's how they, like, refer to her in the comics. I'm just like, Anyway, so you have Magic and Cyclops. They're both there, and they're basically incapacitated and, like, unconscious. And so you have X-Men Rachel Grey, Storm, some other X-Men from the school. They're just, like, staying on the lawn watching some students. And then that's going down, and they're like, what happened to them? And then Beast is like, okay, I'm going to take them to my lab, and I'll fix this. And then out of the side of the panel, it's like, oh, we'll be taking them into custody. That won't be necessary, Dr. McCoy. We'll be taking them into custody. And you see it's Dazzler with a umbrella. But if you've been reading, you know it's not Dazzler, because Dazzler is currently in Genosha, and Mystique has body swapped her and is masquerading as her. So you have Mystique as Dazzler being like, that's alright, we'll take them into custody, I got this. Also, I believe, at the end of the last issue, when Cyclops emitted the optic blast, it was like picked up by a shelled helicarrier. So essentially, they flew there with a helicarrier, and then Dazzler's there on the ground now, and she's like, all right, we got them, and like, we're taking them into custody. Meanwhile, in Madripoor, so we go back to wow, did I say Genosha? I'm sorry, I meant Madripoor when I said that's where Dazzler was. I'm sorry, I got mutants on the brain. So Madripoor, and we cut back to Madripoor in a bar, and you have Blob in a bar fight with some dude, and he junkies out, and he's like, oh, I need to fix my mutant genome, mutant growth hormone, and he goes to the place where we saw Dazzler at last time, when she was basically getting her mutant genome growth hormone. I'm sorry, words. It happens. Mutant growth hormone. So she's the source, and like they're pumping it out of her somehow. I don't know. And then she's tied up in that cell, and then he goes in there, and then Magneto finds out, and he gets angry again. Because he follows him, because he sees him go in there, and then he's like, what the F is going on? Well, he doesn't say that, like, what the F's going on, but like that's how his reaction is. He's like, what the F, dude? What the F? And then Bob's like, dude, I just needed some. She betrayed us, blah, 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 blah. And he finds out it's Dazzler, and he's like, what? And then he gets really angry. He's probably about to kill him. And it's this cool flashback when it has like old school Magneto and old school Blob from like Brotherhood version 1 days, and they have some dialogue there about, we're gonna take you, X-Men. And so he's like, well, he's my friend since like back in the day, so I guess I'll let him live. I'm not gonna kill him. And so he's just like, get out, go away. And then he sets Dazzler free. So finally, after I don't remember when Dazzler came in, but whatever. So this is issue 21. I'm gonna look this up real quick. It's issue 21. So let's see, issue 9. She showed up. This is issue 21. I'm guessing issue 10, or 11, probably 10. Because she like drank a cup of coffee or something, and like that's how Mystique mind wiped her. She like drugged her drink. But so I guess like since issue 10, or 11, whatever. She's been sidelined, but she's back after 10 issues, and she's probably about to take it to Mystique. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens or not. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? She could get knocked out again. But yeah. Anyway, Magneto wakes her up, and then she's just like, "Whoa, how long have I been out? Who did this to me?" And that's like the last thing she says. She's like, "Who did this to me?" But then it cuts back to the Jean Grey school, and we've got Mystique, Dazzler, and then Beast and Rachel Grey and Storm, and then Beast is like, "This is a mutant problem. We'll handle it." But then Maria Hill's like, "Actually, Scott Summers is the world's problem, and we'll handle it. Stand down." And then it's just like it's just a standoff. It's a stare down of who's gonna blink first. Who's gonna blink first? Is it gonna be Maria Hill and Shield, or is it gonna be Beast and the X-Men? And it's like, ooh, what's going down? What's going down? And then you have okay, so then it cuts to the dude or lady or person, whatever, the person whoever's controlling the Sentinels that we don't know who it is, and he's in. Or, I'm sorry, and that person is, like, in their little thing that you can't see their face because they're in a helmet, and he's like, "Oh, man, I know I'm probably being greedy, but all the major players in one place at one time, how can I pass it up?" And then it's like, tuck, because he's typing up commands, I guess, to the Sentinels or something, and then he goes, "We know this day would come, Dr. McCoy." So it's like, now I'm wondering, is he going after Beast the whole time? Is he after Cyclops? Is he even after, like, Uncanny X-Men? Or is he just after, like, was he using them as bait to get to the Jean Grey School X-Men? Or is it, like, does he, like, hate Omnians? Is it, like, that's my other question, is, like, I'm wondering now, like, is it a human? Because, like, at first I was like, okay, it might probably be someone from the future, since that happened before Bally Adam, and then it's like, well, they know all this stuff, maybe they're from the future too, I don't know. But, yeah, we still don't know who they are, and the school gets attacked, and then, because apparently that person took control of one of the helicarriers and attacked the school, and then but then Storm brings it down with, like, one giant thunderbolt, and then so they think that they're getting attacked by Shield again. So it's like, oh, and then it goes back to the Jean Grey school where because Magic and Cyclops teleported away, and then Emma's just sitting there waiting. And so they're waiting, and then you see something in the distance. It's probably a helicarrier. And they're like, "What's that?" But then it cuts back to Jean Grey school, where they're all fighting the helicarrier and stuff. And then Beast is on a computer, and he's all typing stuff. He's not typing stuff, but he hooks up. He takes Magic and Cyclops to his lab, and he's, like, trying to operate on him, save him. And he's like, "Oh, my stars and garters. I knew who's behind this." And then, "Oh, you don't know. You still don't know." And the last dialogue is from the hooded character, or the person in the helmet. And they're all like, "Congratulations, Dr. McCoy. You're always the smart one. But there's that one lesson you never learned. So now I'm going to teach it to you." And then it's like, "To be continued." Oh, still don't know. The anticipation is killing me, man. It's like, whatever. It's not, it's whatever. And, like, but then it's like, it's weird because the next issue is the annual, so it's just like, oh, really? So, we might not even see who the person in the helmet is in the next issue, but whatever, it's cool because there's way more stuff going on. It's like, you got the whole Shield thing, you got the whole Mystique thing, you got the whole Sentinel thing, and now you got the whole, well, there's also the whole, actually, where were the First Class X-Men? Like, I thought they came back to Earth. Well, I guess they're not back in Earth yet, but I'm still waiting for that, like, more all-new X-Men mixed in with the Uncanny team, so, But, yeah, I did thoroughly enjoy Uncanny X-Men yet again. Still loving it after all this time. Alright, and then last issue I'll be discussing this week in a very... yeah, this is a very off the top of my head issue, but whatever, or episode, so whatever. I'll just keep on rolling. X-Men number 14. So we pick up where we left off. Actually, we don't pick up where we left off the last issue. I think I talked about this one, didn't I? When the future is Shogo's dad, and then he poisons Sprite, and then he shoots some other person I can't remember. I feel bad now. But yeah, in this issue we pick up where Monette and Rachel Gray are basically on the chase of this dude. It's a really cool scene, and they're in New York. I'm sorry, getting excited. Let me breathe real quick. Okay, so you have Rachel Gray and you have Monette, and they're on the hills of the dude that was attacking the last issue, and they're in New York City. And so Rachel Gray has basically cast a psychic net so that nobody else can see them, and then, but they're in New York City, so there's like a ton of people around, like every corner is densely populated area. And she's like, I don't know if I can keep this up, Monette. We gotta take this guy down fast. And they're on the trail of him, and then Monette tackles him, but then he's somehow able to, basically break out of her hold like it's nothing. And he's holding like these two pistols to these like civilians that, like, since they don't see him, they have no idea he's there. And it's like, oh, it's a standoff again. And so yeah. So you have Rachel Gray and Monette there, and they're like, okay, dudes, we gotta take him down. He's about to shoot himself with these two guns. He like pulls back to himself, but then Monette's like, oh no you don't, and just like grabs his hands and I guess breaks them, I don't know. But they bring him back to the junior school, and then Beast is in the lab looking at okay, Sprite and Primal, that's the other dude's name. I'm sorry. Okay, and then you have Psylocke in the school, who is setting up the school's security, and there's some kid mutant that's like, oh, I'm so scared, Psylocke, are we under attack? And she's like, yeah, everything's cool. That's not what she says, but, that... she didn't say exactly like that, but she's like, everything's cool, go back to sleep, whatever. And then you have Chimera and Storm. It's really interesting here, because it's like, Storm's like, okay, I know you're from the future, so... You need to help me with this, because, you could stop stuff from happening. That's going to be terrible. And then Chimera's like, well, why are you interrogating me? This is very not something my mom in the future does, because we're totally cool and stuff, and you're not all, oh, I need some intel, or whatever stuff. And then you have Shogo and Jubilee in the gym, and then she's trying to get him to learn how to use the armor ball thing that they made for him during, I think it was Battle of the Atom. And like, yeah, whenever something dangerous happens, he like pushes a button and like there's armor that comes around him. Or not, it's not armor per se, it's just like a giant ball of shield thing. That was terrible description. Whatever. Moving right along. So we have this dude that Rachel and Monette tracked down in New York. They brought him back to the school, and now they're about to interrogate him. And they're like, oh, Storm doesn't know he's here, does he? Ugh, if we do this without Storm's, yeah, because there's been like tension between the team. It's like, oh, they're not really a team, but when they're acting like a team, it's like Rachel will be like, well, all right, Leader Storm, even though I think we should do this, and then just what's that word? There's a word for it, whatever, just grinding gears of, I think we should do this way. Well, I think we should do this that way. Well, you're not the leader. Well, I have more experience. Yeah, that stuff. That. So they're about to interrogate him. Storm walks in, and she's like, "Is the prisoner secure?" And then they're just like, "Okay," or I'm sorry, they're not like okay, but you're like, "Yeah, he's secure. You're not going anywhere." And then she's like, all right, team meeting, danger room, let's do this. And she's like, all right, dudes, I'm sorry. And, it's my fault. The team's been blah, 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 blah. We're not official yet, but we are official because they just made us official. So it's like, oh, yay, finally, the team's official, yay. And so in this picture, we have Storm, Rachel Gray, Monette, Psylocke, and Jubilee. And, no Kitty Pryde, no Rogue, whatever. We'll see what happens. But, yay, they're finally a team, so, alright, let's get the show on the road. But, before, they can get any strategizing or planning, tacticianing, I don't think tacticianing is a word. Before anything can happen, it's like, oh, kablamo, an explosion. And the prisoner has broken out of a cell. And then, yeah, Monette, Psylocke, and Rachel, I believe, go to intercept, and then Jubilee's like, oh no, he's after Shogo, what am I going to do? And then Storm's like, it's cool, Chimera will take care of it. And then, so yeah, we cut to the chase. And then this dude is like super fast. And my knight can't touch him. Rachel Gray gets like knocked to the floor by him. And they're like, man, like how are you gonna get this guy? But then it's cool because Chimera's pet tiger thing, lion, panther, liger, panther thing. I don't know what it is. From the future, attacks him, and he's just like, ah, and then she's like, heal, and then she stabs him in place, and then, oh, actually, it's cool. I didn't realize this until I read. I'm like, you know what? Look, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this until I was looking over it a second time. But so the Liger Panther thing attacks him, takes him down. She says heal, and then the dude that attacked them is like, wait, but then she stabs him before, like, you know, or not. Well, instead of not stabbing him, she stabs him, and so when she stabs him, like a little timer on his forehead starts, and it like starts at 4, and it goes to 3, and then he says 3, and then she has like this expression like, oh crap, it's a bomb. And so I'm wondering now if she had not stabbed him, if the bomb would not have been armed, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, he blows up, and then she's able to secure Shogo before that happens, and then everybody else is able to. Well, it looks like everybody's. I mean, an explosion goes off, but there's no like body. Well, there's nobody like. It looks like Chimera might be a bit on the injured side. Shogo's in his little armor bubble shield thing. Actually, never mind. See, I'm looking at this and it's weird because there's fire all around. So we're in like a room that's on fire. So it's like that's before the explosion. But then the explosion goes off, and you can only see that it looks like Chimera's been incapacitated. But I'm not sure. It like you don't know what's happened to everybody else. I'm sure they're fine. And then you see someone looking at the school through binoculars, and it's the future. And he's like, "That's phase 1 complete. Phase 2 at dawn, when they're most vulnerable. To be continued." And that was part 1 because yeah, Bromo Superior part 2. Oh yeah, Danger Room time. So last issue, you had Hellion, Brew, Rockslide. Oh, they say this dude's name. Anol? Isn't that Anol? Yeah, I think it's Anol. Anyway. So Anol, Rockslide, Hellion, and Brew, they're in a danger room, and then Hellion has hacked into Psylocke's program, and they're like, you know, fighting all these enemies from like the feudal, or not feudal Japan, but they just have like really, really old like bows and arrows and catapults and trebuchets. But then they do have like this like cannon thing that fires rocks, but whatever. So it's like that type of warfare. And then I'm confused on like if the Danger Room Psylocke is like a program or if that's actually Psylocke. I'm super confused, but whatever. I'm sure it's just an AI or something. Anyway, it might be Psylocke. It might not. I don't know. She hasn't really done anything. She's just like making fun of Julian the whole time. Anyway, who is I'm sorry. She calls him Julian. That's a Hellion. But so we start off and the shell getting attacked, and Rockslide basically catches one of the cannons. The Rockslide shot of a cannon. And he's like, "Okay, dudes, I need to rest a bit. Somebody else is gonna take a hit right now because yeah, that hurt." And then he's like, well, no, you can regenerate, so you go." And then he like just attacks a bunch. Yeah, it's great because like, he runs and attacks, and then like the narration from like the Psylocke is like, "Oh, that was a good call because we're in the danger room. This is where you get to see someone's true, what was it called? True potential shine when they're not under the stress of outside world combat or whatever." But then she's all like mocking Hellion for what he just said of like sitting somebody else in, and she's like, "But this is supposed to be your time to shine." It's super weird. And then he jumps in and like, you know, starts attacking even more people. And then Bruce's like, "Yeah, this isn't gonna get us all killed. That was a bad idea." And then the last line of dialogue, Psylocke saying, "We run that risk every day. So this is what's called a teaching moment, and it's like to be concluded." But yeah, that is everything I read yeah, this is like one of the few weeks that I've been able to read everything before Wednesday, so or Tuesday. So yeah, but I'm still behind on some other stuff that I'm reading, like all new X-Men. Like I said, I've got up to issue 27. I've not read that many. I picked up Cyclops #1. I've not read it. Behind on the Punisher. I did read Ultimate Spider-Man #1 though, so I'm kind of with Miles, yay! And then what else am I reading right now? New Avengers. I'm 18. I got it. Haven't read it. And then Avengers 29. I've not yet read either. Yeah, Original Sin. I don't really care about that event. So it's like, if it's tying into anything I'm reading, I will read what I'm reading, but I'm not gonna start reading the event. But that one's cool because apparently Cap finds out that they mind wiped him in New Avengers. So I can't wait to see what happens. So because that was really cool, like the beginning of New Avengers. Oh, I love New Avengers. So yeah, that's one of my favorites right now. I need to catch up on, let's see, Thunderbolts, because I'm behind on that still. I'm caught up on Miss Marvel. But yeah, I have a lot less. I've been meaning to do a video about this as far as like 1 year later, what's my comic reading like compared to last year? And I was like, okay, dudes, I'm going in Marvel now. Let's do this. So now it's like, okay, well the plan is stuff happened, but I'm still reading some stuff I'm not. So some stuff I'm picking up in trade. But that was it for this week's comic talk. My pick for the week, definitely Forever Evil and Justice League, because I just really enjoyed it. Like the concept, what they were going for, I think they nailed it, and then it changed the status quo, which is it's not always a good thing, but it's like refreshing when like they can do it and have it be true to what they meant to do, and it's like they did it and it happened. My only issue, because I meant to talk about this before, but like my only issue is like there's a lot of stuff going on in DC where it's like the Future's End, so I feel like it's all tying into that and like leading into that in some sort of like something that's going to pay off like a year from now. So it's like, oh, you have to be in it for the long haul, but it's like I'm not in it for the long haul because I'm not reading like Batman Forever or Future's End. So it's like stuff that since I haven't read Future's End, I'm not sure like what the big bad thing that happens like at the end is going to be. So it's will it be the what's the guy's name? I forgot. Anti-Monitor, or is it going to be something else? We'll see. But I guess I'll just keep reading Justice League, then I can like at least know or just see Batman and Lex Luthor on a team, and maybe if it stops being good, I'll just stop reading. But yeah, score one for DC because I picked up another one of their books. So yeah. But yeah, that's it for this video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends or not. That's cool too. Whatever. And until you see or hear from me again, hopefully on another comic book talk if you enjoy these or something else. Thanks for watching, and I'm now signing off.